Hey, today I wanted to talk to you about co-parenting versus parallel parenting. And some people aren't familiar with the term parallel parenting, or they've heard it, but they're really not sure what it is. And I just wanted to briefly talk about it and how it can be beneficial and a really good tool to have when you kind of hit an impasse and you don't agree with your other parent and how to handle something. So sometimes that's just the better option. And you can do both. So you can co-parent on some issues and then parallel parent in others. It's not an all or nothing kind of situation. So parallel parenting is when you can't agree and you just decide that there's going to be different rules at the different homes. And again, I'm all about managing expectations. So again, I am understanding that you've had a discussion with the other parent and that you you're going to explain this to your kids, that you're going to say, hey, we don't agree on this. And usually it's things like bedtimes or rules or social media, screen time. These are all really common things. And so eating, food, and you just simply explain to the child that this is the rule in your home and that the other parent has a different rule, and that's just kind of the way it is. And say and don't say anything negative about the other parent's rule if you think it's bad or that you don't agree with it. It's by nature the fact that you're doing something different in your home. It speaks for itself, and in the long run it's really important that you create as little conflict as possible for the kids. So my suggestion is that you just state the rules at your home, stay with it. Know that the kids are going to push against it, especially if you have the more strict rules. Then they're going to want to tell you that mom or dad allows them to stay up late or do whatever. And always make sure that you're checking with the other parent, and do not assume that it's true, because a lot of kids try to find the loopholes and are very aware that if you guys don't communicate, that they can manipulate parents to give them what they want. So in fact, they may not be able to stay up that late at the other parent's house, but they're going to tell you that, thinking that maybe you're not going to find out that that's not true. So I hope and pray that you have at least a decent enough relationship with the other parent that you could send a quick email and just talk about things like bedtimes. And depending on how old your kids are when your divorce happens, you might have multiple changes, right? So the bedtime for a toddler is going to be way different than an elementary school student, than a high school student, etc. So this might be several emails over the course of many years, trying to just get updated on, hey, how are you handling this now? Should we do an adjustment? I'm thinking about, bumping their bedtime back an hour. What do you think? Are you guys doing any different? But try to communicate with the other party. Everyone always says that. Even if you're parallel parenting, I always recommend just communicating. Let's say that you guys have decided to parallel parent on some issues, and one of those topics is bedtime, and the child gets older and they're going into high school, and you decide you're going to change your stance. I still advise that you go ahead and just send an email to the other parent and let them know, hey, I just wanted to let you know that we're going to try this. We're going to make it an hour. Bedtime is going to be bumped back an hour, or we're not going to give them a bedtime in high school. We're going to see how it goes, and if I need to institute a bedtime, then I will, or whatever. Just communicating with them what's going on at your house is really good, and it's good for your kids to know that you guys do communicate, even if you don't agree. So that's important, and obviously if you're co-parenting, it's extremely important to be communicating back and forth and be thinking ahead if a child is having a milestone or getting older, or things are changing and things need to be reevaluated, to go to the other parent and ask them their opinion and suggest your thoughts on it, or that you meet, or however you guys have customarily handled it. So those are my thoughts on co-parenting and parallel parenting. I hope that that was helpful, and I hope that you can find ways to institute that to keep the drama as low as possible in your house.